Welcome, everyone, to another weekly edition of our StaySmart newsletter and podcast, brought to you by Viciniti Corporate Housing, where we try to keep you updated on what we see happening in the industry. And what I see happening right now in the industry, at least for the last month or so, is intern housing. Whether you're in corporate housing or furniture rental, the apartment industry, student housing, or even dorm housing, intern housing was what we see going on right now in the industry. It's keeping us very busy right now. We're out walking apartments, setting up units, meeting our guests, meeting the interns going to be staying in our intern housing. So it's definitely what we see going on right now. So we have some articles and a couple blogs around this topic. The first article is about GM. GM is picking up some of the interns that were going to be working for Tesla. Tesla had rescinded a lot of their internship offers, and so GM is coming in and picking up some of those interns into their company. So I think that's a great testament to GM. And the next article is about kind of the right way and the wrong way to do an intern program. And it's an interesting article. Housing is mentioned in this article, and I think obviously, personally, I think corporate housing is a great solution, but stipends, student housing, things like that are other options out there. And then there's a blog that we put out there about the 13 companies that are doing internship programs that include housing. Some really big names out there, some big companies, so good information. And then finally, we have a blog written by our own Mark Champagne on the 8 reasons why you should outsource your intern housing program. Some really good information there from Mark Champagne. Obviously, we feel like corporate housing is the best solution, but we're a little biased in that opinion. Those are articles that we have this week. Also, we started this podcast 1 year ago. Early June last year, we started this podcast. We had rebranded early last year, from ExecuStay to Viciniti. It's one of the reasons why we started this LinkedIn newsletter and podcast on YouTube, is just to get the Viciniti name out there. And we'd love to hear your feedback of what you thought of our newsletter, of our podcast. If there's anything else you'd like to hear us talk about or to mention, we'd love that feedback. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter or podcast, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, that's what I see transitioning this week. Take care, everyone.